Are there people on this earth that think solely due to their skin color they are superior to the next person? Yes, without a question. But in 2019, current year argument, that feeling of superiority comes from so many other places that the skin color or pigmentation lane is passe to a large extent. And so I look at it in a lot of the ways that I look at the sex, the biological sex argument or angle. Take, for example, someone like Susan Wojcicki, who operates YouTube. She is a CEO, so it's kind of weird to hear a female CEO trip and complain about a lack of female CEOs. You see what I'm saying? Like, you are the example that you speak of. You are the apparently, if you guys are so oppressed, how'd you get your job? You get what I'm saying, right? So that's the thing. That's where we're coming from as I begin this video into just current racism in New Jersey. Current casual racism in New Jersey that's taking place right now. Our first article is coming to us from Insider New Jersey. Rivals for a state party chairmanship, Curry and Jones condemn racist general majority PAC mailer backing Legislative District 1 Democrats. This is written by Max P. Good guy. And that's the two gentlemen right there. Now, if we lived in like this time where the Trump administration is just beckoned upon so much race, like how could these guys be fighting for such a powerful position, right? So how about we say yay to progress and moving forward, right? Good stuff. God, that guy reminds me of like one of the. He's like a combination. Curry. He's like a combination of like Uncle Phil and one of the Muppets. But they're quote unquote brothers. So respect to both of the gentlemen. All right. I actually did an entire video on the official elected official channel talking about their upcoming race. So feel free to shoot on over there and check that stuff out. But two rivals for leadership in the Democratic Party, one on the throne now and another at the edge of it, today denounced as racist a mail piece issued as racist. As racist, a mail piece issued by the General Majority PAC, which is affiliated with South Jersey Democratic power broker George Norcross III, who raises money for the group. I absolutely condemn this mailer, as his county Democratic chairman, Leroy Jones, told Insider New Jersey, the guy directly above me as a county committee chair. It doesn't matter whether it's Democrat or Republican. It is a racist mailer that reeks of that. And this is unacceptable across the board. You can't condemn someone in Virginia when it's happening here. So they're talking about Northam in Virginia. I can't tolerate that. I won't tolerate that in my county, in my state, or in my country. If the gentleman is offended by that, he should be. It's wrong. Such strong condemnation. And as you can see, that's him with State Senator Ronald Rice, and these guys have. Leroy Jones was definitely on the come up because when it comes to county and state politics, these guys come from within. And Senator Rice, he's been in office for forever. I've done videos with him on the official elected official channel. By all means, go check that out. We just can't stand for that, said Democratic Party Chairman John Curry, who's pursuing re-election of the state chairmanship and next week leads the party at its annual convention in Atlantic City. It's wrong, he said, speaking from another party event this morning. See all the party events? The sitting chairman issued a formal statement which reads as following. I was the victim of a racist flyer that darkened my face in the last election cycle. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue, but as Democrats, we believe it's important to call out racism and stand against it no matter what, including when a member of the opposite party is the target. Democrats Bruce Land and Matthew Millam had absolutely nothing to do with this mailer. However, I am calling on the responsible parties to apologize and refrain from using racist tropes to attack our adversaries. Our party Party is better than this, and we can only succeed in standing up to the racism and division coming out of the White House if we if we also hold ourselves to a higher standard. And you see where the ideology starts to eat the snake starts to eat its own tail when it comes to, oh my goodness, more racism as an ideology. Because, oh my goodness, well, you have to fight against the White House. Jesus. The mail piece, funded by the 527 Political Action Committee, landed last week in the middle of arguably New Jersey's most competitive legislative district this year, in support of South Jersey Democrat incumbents led by Senator Robert, I'm not doing that, General Majority PAC in 2019, paid Norcross ally Steve Askew at least $75,000 so far. Sources said Jones is poised to challenge Curry for leadership of the New Jersey Democratic Party, to be decided in January. If he were to formally run for the position, Jones would have the backing of the South Jersey Democratic Party and its establishment affiliates, Norcross chief allies among them. And this is the flyer. This is the mailer in question. It gets worse. His running mate is a financial deadbeat. And then they got this Aunt Your Mama. this WB Mason ass. This is like, yo, this is like this throwback picture with this big smile, like, yo, come on, man, come on. And then they use the term financial deadbeat. And you know what? There is plausible deniability. I feel like Robert De Niro in Casino, where he's like, you can have one, you can have the other, but you can't have both. And the deal is that picture, along with the financial deadbeat, you knew exactly, like, you kind of, like, what? What are you talking about? This is the only one. Yo, come on, man. Yo, that's ridiculous. That's funny. And the deal is just like, yo, beat him with the facts, man. Like, yo, if that's the angle that you want to go at, you didn't have to slap that's a racist ass picture. But you know what? I prefer this than, you know, what we used to get, right? So, like, as a descendant, like, let's be real. This is not a fire hose. This is not a dog. This is just a picture. And it's very blatant. It's very clear what they're attempting. It's very funny. It's very funny, too. Oh, my goodness. Curry is back for re-election to the chairmanship by Governor Phil Murphy, which kind of means I don't want him in there. But who is locked in an intra-party war with Norcross, largely over the distribution of state, the EDA. Like, yeah, there's a whole thing going on in the state right now. Yeah, man. So after that, this is the whole flyer right here. And yeah, come on, yo, really? Like, yeah. Oh, golly. So yeah, with that, so that's story one. And now that we've gotten to it, I kind of just don't feel like going through all that. If you need a quick rebuff or a quick TLDR, in the state of New Jersey right now, it's the local establishment versus the national establishment who's come in and particularly when it comes to the Democratic Party, and just, you know, tried to blanket with Governor Phil Murphy and a lot of the appointees and people that he's putting in position in certain places. So the state, the local establishment, they got their hands full right now with like all that, because they were able to get a ton of just bad policy through during the Christie administration. So it left them very open and very susceptible to a national, you know, establishment coming through and, you know, hindering their plans and their progress for their gentrification. Everybody just trying to gentrify these areas, and particularly when it comes to Camden, because Camden's a big deal right now. You got these companies who, you know, got tons of money to come to Camden, but didn't really go to Camden, and so like they're on the outskirts. They're like a mile out in gated communities. So it's really interesting to see how this is all shaking out and shaking down, but it's all in the middle of being investigated, and more than likely it'll just be that investigated and then, you know, continued. But there's another story coming out, And this is also from Insider New Jersey, written by the friend Max P. Outraged Holly, Newark and area residents remain victims of ecocide purported by environmental racism. Whoo, jumped on it, brother. Jumped on that grenade, huh? Assemblyman Jamal Holly was unimpressed by the press conference led by Governor Phil Murphy and other elected officials this afternoon as they reported on the preliminary findings of lead contaminations testing in the city of Newark. In fact, it infuriated them. Until the city of Newark, that provides water to several municipalities, including Elizabeth, Hillside, Belleville, and Bloomfield, and the state of New Jersey can prove through comprehensive tests the water is safe to drink. Sadly, the residents of those municipalities remain victims of ecocide purported by environmental racism. I'm gonna have to say, hold up there, Jay Halls. Love you, dude. Really do. But the electeds of these areas sold their water systems. The water systems were public for a very long time. Private companies came through and were like, oh yeah, we'll take that off your hands for a few dollars. They got their few dollars, completely wasted it or put it wherever they so desired and kept it pushing. So now here we are with the results of privatizing your water systems, and it's no bueno. This is something that isn't just like, how do I put it? Like, this isn't new. This didn't just happen. None of the situations that many of these communities find themselves in, Edison, none of these situations are new. But Edison themselves just got finished shutting down the try of the mayor to sell their public water. They were like, nope. Like, they showed up for that. Like, nope, not even. Today's press conference failed to include the validation and confirmation of the United States Environmental Protection Agency that the water is safe to drink without using a filter, added the Roselle-based assemblyman. What's the point of testing only filters and not the full testing of the water flowing into the service lines? He wanted to know. Bottled water is still needed and still needs to be distributed. The New Jersey Sierra Club issued a similar response to the news. According to the local sources in Newark, officials found houses using filters have lead levels of 10 ppb. In August, the EPA tested and found high levels of lead in filters with two residencies in Newark. The agency strongly encouraged the city of Newark to take immediate action. The city of Newark has sampled 300 homes and found that lead levels. Okay, yeah, like, so all of this is from the Newark stuff. They're saying it's not enough, and it likely isn't, but you kind of hamstring yourself because they're not public, because these water facilities aren't public. They're privately owned now. And this is something that I'm not sure whose era this was done in, okay? I'm not sure if it was James, Gibson, or Booker's, but it's been a disaster for the people who do that, and that's another reason why I show a hella love to the people. I want to show hella love to people of Edison for standing up for themselves, their community, and their people. Good, and their residents and their constituencies. Good job. And Jay Halls ain't wrong. He's not. But at the same time, it's a lot of, like, when you call it environmental racism, we got to make sure that we keep the perspective very wide. Because, like, yeah, you call it racism all you want, but whoever was the mayor at the time, I can guarantee you, called themselves black. So how, like is that racism, or is that just mismanagement? And I feel like that's more mismanagement than it is racism. I feel like the corruption and the nonsense that's taken place in these areas, particularly the urban ones, because they're just so ripe for it with very little oversight. I'm sorry, but there is plenty of questions to be had all the way around. So, with that being said, going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it a like, dislike, yeah, go ahead and do that too. I'm not scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute don't. We cool. Thank you for letting me post, guys, and speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments. Never attribute something to maliciousness that could be that's easily explained by incompetence. So environmental racism, all these other concepts, I believe they need to be parsed and disseminated more than just we want to toss a blanket term of racism on top of it, right? I mean, just break it down. just a little bit and see where, hey, it's not particularly racism. A lot of it's capitalism, and yikes. So with that being said, let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next one.